This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Dunedin's state of emergency may be lifted, but Civil Defence is still warning residents to stay away from beaches. Could Otago's main centre be wiped out by a major earthquake? One academic offers seismofact. And Southlanders may have escaped major damage, but the area's Civil Defence group says it's a timely reminder. Good evening, I'm Rebecca Dupree. Coastal homes from the Waitaki to Clutha were evacuated last night following the magnitude 7.5 earthquake. Tsunami warnings were in place along the east coast of the South Island, and one South Dunedin school began with an evacuation reminder. Otago Civil Defence has now lifted its emergency status, but is still advising people to stay away from beaches.
Getting through a natural disaster is all about being prepared. Bathgate Park School tamariki were briefed this morning at the Assembly about the school's evacuation plan. The school closed for several days after last year's Dunedin floods, and the principal says last night's tsunami warnings brought disaster management into sharp focus.
It is a timely reminder to all schools, particularly those schools in low-lying areas such as South Dunedin, to be prepared for an emergency of this situation. So this morning I briefed the school in terms of our tsunami response, and so within the next couple of days we'll be having an emergency tsunami drill.
The fatal 7.5 magnitude North Canterbury quake triggered an Otago Civil Defence emergency and evacuations from the Waitaki to Clutha. Otago Civil Defence Group Controller Chris Hawker says every school should be doing this, especially after the chaos following the 2011 Canterbury quake.
Tremendously important. All schools should be doing this thing. And all parents that have children at schools should know what the plans are for the school. One of the big difficulties that happened in a number of places in Christchurch following the earthquakes, especially in February, was that a lot of parents ran straight for the schools. And that just caused even more gridlock in a city that was seriously damaged.
Hawker is just one of the many personnel from Civil Defence and other teams who's been on duty since the quake struck after midnight.
We evacuated about 5 or 6 communities along the sides of the Dunedin coast. Because I'm the regional controller, I'm also looking at the Waitaki region and the Clutha district as well. So there was a number of communities along the whole coastline that we were identified that needed to be evacuated, and we were working with the emergency services. The exact number, I can't tell you off the top of my head.
He says there was a significant number of people working last night helping evacuate coastal communities. Otago Civil Defence says while the official tsunami warning was lifted around 6 a.m, they're still advising people to stay away from the beaches for the next 24 hours as a precaution. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Police in the central Otago and Lakes districts are reminding people not to leave valuables in their vehicles. Detective Lisa Watt of Queenstown says in the last 2 weeks vehicles have been broken into in Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra. Thieves are targeting mainly rental vehicles and smashing windows to gain entry. Detective Watt advised car owners to keep valuables such as cash and passports with them if possible. A leading earthquake researcher had told Dunedin residents to remain calm in the wake of this morning's earthquake. Professor Mark Sterling says more seismic activity is expected in New Zealand, but he says the chance of Dunedin being struck by a large event is lower because of its proximity to major fault lines.
Professor Mark Sterling, Chair of Earthquake Science at Otago University, slept right through last night's 7.5 magnitude earthquake. I'm Rosella Bone at the Geology Department of Otago University. Professor Sterling says there is a high chance of an even bigger earthquake hitting the same epicentre, but Dunedin residents should not be alarmed. However, Professor Sterling says a fault line 15 kilometres out of the city, such as the Akatore and Titiri faults, could do significant damage.
The city. So if one of those faults had produced a large earthquake, yeah, there'd be a lot of damage in Dunedin, and the trick of it is being aware of the problem before it happens, and that's what we're doing.
Professor Sterling says the likelihood of activity on adjacent faults in the area of the present earthquake sequence is much higher. He says Dunedin has an old-built environment which has existed for a long time without significant seismic activity.
So, I mean, if there was a decent earthquake on one of the faults close to Dunedin, yeah, there'd be very strong shaking and a lot of damage. And that awareness has been greatly increased in recent years. There's government-funded work that we've been working on to understand the earthquake hazard of Dunedin.
While more events are likely to occur in the coming years, steps are being taken to strengthen Dunedin's historic architecture. I'm Rosella Bone for South Today.
A live wallaby has been found in an Invercargill city backyard. A resident in North Invercargill spotted the pest after she'd realised something was disturbing her dog. One of the only places that holds a permit for these creatures is Queen's Park Animal Reserve. Environment Southland quickly responded to the call and the animal's been handed over to South Canterbury Wildlife Park. The Regional Council says they know people can find the animals cute, but they pose a significant risk to the environment. Well, still to come on the South Today, a newish festival is only getting popular and a world-class motor racing event takes over Cromwell.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silverhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Southern Television takes pride in providing a wide range of programming. If you have concerns about our programming or feel that standards have been breached, please write to the address on screen within 20 working days of airing. Visit Broadcast Standards Authority website for more information on the complaints process.
Yes, Sonny Chin.
Neck, shoulder, back, sciatica, pain specialists. Innovative tools specifically designed to contour your grooves of depletion and excess muscle buildup.
Sonny Chin, it works.
The 2016 Dunedin Relay for Life will be held on the 19th and 20th of November at Forsyth Bar Stadium. The event will be full of fun, entertainment and team spirit. The Relay for Life is a 24-hour event where you and your team take part in walking a track to support local people affected by cancer.
Hi there, my name's John Moyle and I am a cancer survivor. I had cancer 10 years ago and I'll be all clear in December this year, 10 years, so it's a great accomplishment. The Cancer Society did amazing work in Otago. I've met made some good friends and met some good people through that. Relay for Life is one of their major fundraisers for the year, and I stress it's a really important people to get behind it. It's great fun, and since I've moved into Forsyth Bar, the weather's not an issue. So get amongst it, raise some money, get your friends and family, workmates together, and get down and support the Relay for Life, because the things that Cancer Society do for the people in Otago in the way of services, providing support for families and people going through cancer treatment. But we want to see you down there at Forsyth Bar, raising lots of money, having lots of fun, November this year.
Hi, I'm Nick. This is my third relay. We've had lots of fun fundraising for the Relay for Life this year. We've been doing cheese rolls with real onion. We've been selling raffles and have a quiz night coming up, which we're busy collecting prizes for that. We've had so much fun doing this in the past years. Can't wait to do it again. Hope to see you there.
It's not too late to join in the fun. Register now, relayforlife.org.nz.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
Come one, come all to the Oamaru Victorian Heritage Celebrations, a year to reflect on the intriguing world of medicine in the Victorian era. 16th to the 20th of November, www.vhc.co.nz for more information.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award winning Garador.
Welcome back. Southlanders were lucky to avoid the main force of today's earthquakes, but civil defence workers are reminding residents to make plans for next time.
Earthquakes can be hard to prepare for because we often don't know they're coming. The 7.5 magnitude earthquake overnight and following aftershocks have been a wake-up call for many New Zealanders. However, Southland Civil Defence says we all need to put together plans for if it were to happen again.
You need to have a bit of a plan, and that doesn't have to be a complicated thing. It's just to have a conversation with your family, with your loved ones. What are you going to do if there's an emergency? How are you going to let people know that you're all right?
This is the main concept behind the national ad campaign by Civil Defence. It emphasises the importance of talking to your loved ones about what would happen in the event of a natural disaster. Angus says even the slightest bit of planning helps.
Even if that's a conversation over the dinner table tonight, what would we do if there's no power? What would we do if the kids were at school and we were at work? And just having that conversation will help you to think, oh, we did talk about that when there is an emergency.
He says this sort of planning is important for everyone in the country, but especially for Southland. Scientists have predicted there is a 30% likelihood of the Alpine Fault rupturing in the next 50 years. If this were to happen, it would cause a magnitude 8 earthquake through most of the country.
When the Alpine Fault ruptures, that's going to cause an impact for everybody in Southland, as well as the South Island and through into the North Island.
He says people need to make sure they've put together enough food, water and medicine to last a few days in the case of an emergency. Ruby Spink, The South Today.
Thousands of people flocked to Forsyth Bar Stadium at the weekend for the Dunedin Craft Beer and Food Festival. The event is only 4 years old and was so popular it sold out in advance. And with a mix of alcohol and food, organisers were happy with the strategies they put in place to ensure everyone had a good time.
The Dunedin Craft Beer and Food Festival entertained, fed and quenched the thirst of 6,200 people under the roof at Forsyth Bar Stadium. It's run by the Otago University Students Association and has managed to get bigger every year. Ticket prices haven't been raised in the 4 years the festival's taken place, and organisers are happy with the strategies they've used to keep everyone safe.
So all these additional kind of games and entertainment really means that people go and they socialise and they have fun with friends. They don't go there to binge drink. So it's a totally different culture that we're encouraging.
The use of a wristband payment system once again proved popular and made paying for drinks and food seamless.
It's very quick, it's used for high density areas such as festivals, and it makes it simple for the user and they can refund it at the end of the day.
Even with so many people on the pitch, as well as vendors, organisers feel there's enough room for people to feel comfortable.
We don't want to increase capacity just so we can get a numbers game. We want this to be comfortable for everyone, and that's always going to be at the front of it.
The South Today asked festival goers if they were enjoying the day.
Absolutely 100%.
Yes.
We are. We're marvellous, aren't we? Don't we look funky?
We're having an awesome day.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's so, yes. Great day.
We're having a great day. Yeah, loving it. The atmosphere is very
There
fun
are so
and
many
vibrant.
people here. It's a massive event. It's going to be so great.
Most spectacular day ever.
The OUSA says it's got even more exciting features planned for next year's festival. Dee Karen, The South Today.
After the break on the South Today, millions of dollars in racing cars take to the track at Highlands, and we'll check out weather for Tuesday.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silverhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
Come one, come all to the Oamaru Victorian Heritage Celebrations, a year to reflect on the intriguing world of medicine in the Victorian era. 16th to the 20th of November, www.vhc.co.nz for more information.
The 2016 Dunedin Relay for Life will be held on the 19th and 20th of November at Forsyth Bar Stadium. The event will be full of fun, entertainment and team spirit. The Relay for Life is a 24-hour event where you and your team take part in walking a track to support local people affected by cancer.
Hi there, my name's John Moyle and I am a cancer survivor. I had cancer 10 years ago and I'll be all clear in December this year, 10 years, so it's a great accomplishment. The Cancer Society did amazing work in Otago and I've made some good friends and met some good people through that. Relay for Life is one of their major fundraisers for the year, and I stress it's really important people to get behind it. It's great fun, and since I've moved into Forsyth Bar, the weather's not an issue. So get amongst it, raise some money, get your friends and family, workmates together, and get down and support the Relay for Life, because the things that Cancer Society do for the people in Otago in the way of services, providing support for families and people going through cancer treatment. But we want to see you down there at Forsyth Bar, raising lots of money, having lots of fun, November this year.
Hi, I'm Nick. This is my third relay. We've had lots of fun fundraising for the Relay for Life this year. We've been doing cheese rolls with real onion. We've been selling raffles and have a quiz night coming up, which we're busy collecting prizes for that. We've had so much fun doing this in the past years. Can't wait to do it again. Hope to see you there.
It's not too late to join in the fun. Register now, relayforlife.org.nz.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award-winning Garador.
Welcome back. Highlands Motorsport Park in Cromwell was host to a world-class motor racing event at the weekend. Spectators were treated to 4 different racing categories over the 3-day event, and organisers described the action as the most incredible racing New Zealand has seen this year.
Thousands of spectators were enjoying the Highlands 101 endurance race over the weekend. Its modern take on the famous Le Mans running start and compulsory pit stops were all part of the action.
We've got our Australian GT category over here, we have Radical Australia, and then some local heroes in our Highlands 1 hour event. And the crowds have just been insane.
The township of Cromwell was at capacity during the 3-day event.
Can't get accommodation for love nor money. The bars are full, the restaurants are full, and there's an amazing buzz around the place.
Exotic cars were on display and also racing, and the value of them is an estimated $20 million.
It is an absolutely intoxicating spectacle to see that type of value out there with some amazing drivers pushing as hard as they can. You certainly don't need to be a motorsport enthusiast to really appreciate that this is some really cool entertainment.
Spillane says drivers returning for their 4th go at the event rate it as a highly technical circuit, one that doesn't allow time to relax as they're put through their paces.
And then, you know, for them to be driving here, they've got the arid high mountains on one side, the beautiful snow-capped mountains on the other, the sun shining, it's a blue sky day. It's a pretty stunning environment to be racing in.
Organisers are calling this year's racing the most successful to date. Dee Karen, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. This morning's Canterbury earthquake killed 2 people, caused evacuations from coastal Otago settlements and reminded school kids of disaster planning. A leading earthquake researcher says a major earthquake on the Akatora and Tea fault lines just outside of Dunedin city centre could cause major damage. And Southlanders managed to avoid the main force of the earthquakes. However, Civil Defence is reminding people to plan for the next event. It's time now to find out what's going to be inside the pages of tomorrow's Otago Daily Times, and we're joined by editor Barry Stewart. Good evening.
Hello, Rebecca. Well, we can't go past the earthquake, can we?
No.
A very significant event. So we'll have a full wrap of that, of all the day's activities and opening and closing, and of course, as you alerted, a couple of deaths from it so far. So also the tsunami warning made for a long night for quite hundreds of Otago people actually, so we caught up with some of those, and we've caught up with a former Dunedin woman now living in Kaikoura, a Dunedin woman with 3 young children, so she tells us her experience, which was obviously very frightening. Former All Black Andrew Hoare has gone to court to review the police's decision to strip him of his firearms licence. However, the police are sticking to their guns.
Oh, no pun intended?
Oops.
Shocking.
Sorry about that. I apologise for that.
Did Phil Somerville come up with that one? Because he is the master
it sounds
of
like
punnery.
Phil Somerville, doesn't it? Yeah, nice of you to point that out. The All Blacks have performed a clean sweep in the World Rugby Awards, winning player, coach and team of the year. So
well deserved.
Despite their loss to...
let's not mention that. Who?
To who?
They lost to who?
Already.
Oh, yes.
Ireland.
A figment of your imagination,
yes,
I'm sure.
we move on. We'll get back on that one next Revenge next Saturday.
Thank you, Barry. That is tomorrow's ODT.
Thank you.
It's time now for tomorrow's weather.
This weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Manuka Honey.
Well, to the southern outlook for tomorrow, it's looking a tad damp with showers expected for Balclutha, the Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, and highs of around 12 or 13 degrees. To the central and southern lakes areas, showers developing for Alexandra with a high of 18 degrees there, not too shabby temperature-wise. Rain at times for Queenstown, Tianau and Wanaka. And to the northern outlook, rain at times for Oamaru and Omarama, mostly fine for Timaru, bit of rain for Twizel with a high of 16. And Dunedin tonight, rain with an overnight low of 10. Tomorrow, cloudy with rain at times, and sou'easters tending easterly later in the day. Going for a high though of 16, so not too cold. And on Wednesday, rain and southerlies, a high of 13. And in Invercargill tonight, you guessed it, rain with a low of 9. I'm getting a bit tired of saying rain. There's more. Tomorrow, cloudy with rain at times, southeast winds and a high of 13. And on Wednesday, rain at times, southerly winds and a high of 13. Put your hand up if you're bored. Ooh, it's time now for something that's not rain. Some highlights from the weekend's Craft Beer and Food Festival. We will see you again tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.